Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I'm going to do an Instagram pick my makeup and try all new drugstore makeup that you guys were interested in seeing a little one-day trial on. So I went to Ulta and I went to Target and I bought the things that you guys asked for, and I've got them all right here in this little bin. Most of the drugstore brands are represented here. I tried to just pick the things that got the most requests. So starting off this video with no makeup, we're just going to go ahead and try this all out and see how it goes. There could be some new faves in here. There could be some epic fails. Anyway, if you like these try-on videos with new, especially drugstore, more affordable makeup, give the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All right, so let's get into trying on the new makeup. I'm just going to clip my hair back. A lot of people ask me about these clips. I'll put a link to them in the info box below the video, along with links to everything you're going to see in today's video. All right, so I've got one item from each category, except I didn't get any eyeliner. I don't know why, but most people didn't ask for anything specific in eyeliner, and I forgot to pick one up. So I'm just going to go with the Sephora liners that I like. I purchased everything in here with my own money. There's only one item that was sent to me in PR, and I'll tell you what that is when we see it. I did get some new brushes. Elf had some cute looking little brush packages. All right, let's start in with primer. There were a lot of requests for the Elf putty primers, and they had this really cute 3-pack of the Elf putty primers. So you get all 3 of them in here, and they're mini. So if you are not ready to commit to the Elf putty primer, then this would be a great way to go. I really thought this was a great idea and really cute packaging. I have tried the Elf putty primer before, and I don't think that I was in love with it, which is why I just grabbed these little minis instead of the full size. So this has the poreless putty primer, the matte putty primer, and the luminous putty primer. And I actually thought that I would use this as an eye primer today. So I'm going to use the matte one. Oh, hello, darling. Dog alert. So this one is almost like a little bit of a grayish purple color. So I'm just going to pop this on my eyelids, and we will give this a try as an eyeshadow primer. And I'm using the matte one because, you know, sometimes your eyelids tend to be a little oilier than the rest of your face, and I thought the matte one would be good base for eyeshadow. Then for the face primer, this product really intrigued me, and a couple people had asked for it, so I grabbed this. It's the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Mineral Primer, and this is cruelty-free, vegan. This says that it's moisturizing and preps skin all in one. But I'm just going to use it here on the fronts of my cheeks where I have enlarged pores. Well, a little bit of this seems to go kind of a long way, so I think I got way too much out there. I have been sunless tanning, so I'm a little tanner than usual. It's making me look a little white. Right, this has a really nice lotiony feel. It goes on nicely. You don't really need to use a lot. It has a bit of a luminous finish. So it doesn't really seem to do anything to disguise my pores, because usually I need like a matte primer or a pore filling primer to disguise my pores. That being said, I've only ever found one primer that actually works to disguise my pores. It's not a drugstore product, but it's the Beauty Blender, the Leveler. Maybe we should try the putty poreless primer on one side. Here, let me bring you in a little closer. There, is that better for putting on makeup? So I'm just gonna go ahead and just pop a little bit on the front here where my pores are accentuated. We'll just use it on one side. We'll compare one to the other and see if it helps with the pores. All right, just taking a look at that, it doesn't really seem to be making any difference. It seems to have the same finish, and it didn't seem to really diminish my pores at all, which is pretty par for the course. You know, I really find that the best thing for disguising enlarged pores is really a setting powder, like a blurring mineral powder, loose powder over the top. That's the thing that works. On to the foundation. The foundation that you guys wanted to see absolutely the most in this video was the new L'Oreal True Match. You guys know that the original L'Oreal True Match is one of my holy grail foundations. So they've come out with a new one. This is True Match Nude. It's a hyaluronic tinted serum with 1% hyaluronic acid. I got it in the shade 2 to 3 light pale. Comes in a dropper bottle. Put a bunch out here on the back of my hand. This little package also has a sponge in it, so I'm going to use the sponge to apply the foundation. Ooh, really pretty colored sponge. Kind of matches my top today. Where this is a serum, I don't know about using a sponge with it. It may not be the best, just because serums tend to be a little bit thinner and sponges tend to put the makeup on a little bit sheerer. So we'll try it with the sponge on this side. We can always try a brush on the other side and see how it goes. The color looks really good. It might be slightly pale for, you know, my bottle tan skin, but I think probably for my regular color, it's probably a pretty good match. I feel like it's giving pretty sheer coverage. You know, like some of my like redness is still showing through and everything. I think I'll try it with a brush on the other side. Maybe I'll try it with this one. I picked up this little e.l.f. brush. It's called the Ultimate Blending Brush. Let's put it on this side with the brush and see what happens. It's definitely lightweight and serumy. It looks pretty on the skin. It doesn't look like makeup sitting on the surface. We'll see if we can build it up a little bit, but just my first impression is that it's pretty sheer. Well, it goes on beautifully with both. I'm definitely getting more coverage on the brush side than I am on the sponge side. So depending on how you like to wear your foundation, you could wear this sheerer for more of a natural look. And on this side, I gotta say that this looks so skin-like and so beautiful. It does look a little bit more like foundation on this side, but it doesn't look like heavy cakey makeup. So far, kind of digging it. There are a few brush marks on my forehead and this brush is shedding a few hairs. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just pounce over with the sponge just to get rid of any of those brush marks. Wow, this is really, really pretty foundation. It looks so skin-like and so beautiful. Let me just jump in here a little closer so you can see. It's a lot more natural looking than the original True Match, which can be a little makeup-y, it can be a little heavy. Next up, I have the No7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Serum Concealer. I thought we'd go with the Serum Concealer to match with the Serum Foundation. You guys know we're looking for a dupe for the new Holy Grail Concealer, which is the Lancome Tint Idole. This stuff is so amazing. I grabbed it in the shade Light Medium. So I'm just going to press a little bit of that. It feels pretty emollient for a serum concealer. Just going to press it in there. Wow, that's beautiful. If it will stay this smooth, I would say that looks kind of like the Lancome as far as smoothness. And go ahead, I'm going to apply it on the other side with the sponge. The sponge is kind of big for getting into that area, but I just wanted to see if we could maybe shear it out a little bit. That looks great too. So this is the eye where I applied it with the fingers, and this is with the sponge. But I feel like both are giving really good coverage. All right, for the setting powder, I got another No7 product. This is their translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder. It came in a few different shades, and I'm gonna use my standard setting brush, which is the e.l.f. blush brush. Then I just press it right into the concealer. All right, that looks nice. It's really mattified my under eyes. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this powder to the fronts of my cheeks. I gotta say, I do not love how this powder is looking on the fronts of my cheeks. Just getting it out into here, it looked not as finely milled as the powders that I'm used to. My favorites are the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. That one's really finely milled. And from the drugstore, I love the Honest Beauty Blurring Powder. So I'm gonna leave this side unpowdered just to see how the makeup does without powder. I got the Honest Beauty Cream Cheek Blush. So it looks like a kind of a dark orange. This is called Coral Peach. I bought the Honest Beauty Cream Cheek and Lip color as well. This one is the cheek and lip. This one is just the blush. Let's just go with the plain old blush. Just gonna dip my finger in there and I'm just gonna pat that on. Yikes. Very pigmented. And I'm gonna go ahead and use that e.l.f. brush that I used for the foundation. Try to get a little bit more of a blend on there. Oh, it's blending out really nicely with that brush. All right, so it goes on pretty bright, but it blends out, looks nice and sheer, looks very natural, like a natural cheek flush. It's almost giving like a little bit of a highlight there. That is really super pretty. Ah, I'm so glad I went with this. I love this. Do you want me to try the other one on the other side? All right, what the heck. I'll try the lip and cheek on the other side. Be a little mismatched today. That's all right. Ooh, this one is much, much less pigmented. This one is going to give much more of a sheer wash color, and it's not quite as peachy as this one. It has a little bit more pink to it. That one's pretty as well. It's just super, super sheer. Let me try it on the lips just to see if it's gonna give any color. It's actually pretty. It's kind of a nude look. Feels nice and like creamy and greasy, like it's gonna be really hydrating. All right, so for the bronzer, you guys were so interested in the new Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This was the only new one I could find. It says new right on it, so it's matte. It came in 2 different shades. The other shade was much more orangey. This one was a little bit cooler, so that's the shade on that. Let's give it a go. Ooh, such a nice soft brush. What does this one smell like? It's something I don't like the smell of. All right, I'm just gonna start up on my forehead. So this is a pretty warm shade. I gotta say I'm not loving this shade. I like the color on the original Butter Bronzer a lot better than this. All right, for highlighter, I have a Pixie palette. Lots of requests for Pixie. This is a Pixie plus Janice collab, and this is called the Make Your Own Glow palette. It's a really pretty palette. This is the one item that did come in PR. Everything else I purchased. This is a really pretty palette. Look at all those pretty highlighters. So no matter what your skin tone is, you can find a highlighter in here. I'm gonna use that same brush that I used for the bronzer. I think I'm gonna go for the more goldeny one. This guy up here in the corner. Doesn't seem to be giving me much like color payout on this side. Oh wait, yes it is, look. It just happened. Something just happened back there. Okay, now I see it. Very golden goddess. So anyway, let's move on to the eyes. For the eyes, I got the Wet n Wild Color Icon 5 shadow palette in Walking on Eggshells. First one I'm gonna use is my BK Beauty 203 brush. This is a really good lid packing shader, and I'm going to go in with the lightest color in this little palette. Pop that on the eyelids. Just as a reminder, I use the e.l.f. Putty Primer on my eyelid. This looks like it has a little bit of a shimmer to it. I thought it was going to be matte. It's not. It does have a little bit of a shimmer. So I'm just going to keep it low and at the inner corner. But it sure does look pretty. I mean, the color payout on these is pretty good for like such an inexpensive little palette. Next, I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. crease brush. I'm gonna dip into the second shade in the palette, which is this nice, like kind of camel color. Looks very pretty. And I'm gonna pack that on the outer half of my lid, kind of starting deep in the crease and just running it at an angle from the outer corner of my eyebrow down to my eyelid. That's gonna help to disguise the hood. And then I'm just gonna put some deep in the crease. That's a really pretty color. It's so soft and subtle. I love it. Okay, this is the e.l.f. 202. I'm just going to dip into the lightest shade in the palette. I don't really want it to be, you know, too metallic-y up there, but I'm just going to do the tiniest little brow bone highlight. Kind of wish this was a matte shade. I do prefer like a matte brow bone highlight to a shimmer. Then I'm going to use that same tiny e.l.f. brush. I'm going to go into the darkest shade in the palette. I'm just going to make a little wing, like a little flick at the outer corner. It's like kind of a reddish brown. Really pretty color. And I'm just going to blend that out a little bit with the BK 202. Then I'm going to go in with this pinky shade. I'm just going to put that on the movable part of my lid. I'm just going to pop that on with my finger. Not getting any color payout with that. Let me try it with the BK 203 brush. If you hear background noises, it's my daughter down in the kitchen. She's visiting. I'm also going to grab a little bit of this shimmer brown color on the same brush, and I'm going to just put that at the outer third, and then use the BK 202 to blend that across. Let me just see if there was much fallout. Oh my gosh, a ton of fallout. I've completely ruined all of my under eye makeup over here. Can you see it? It's like the finest dusting of brown powder. You can make a little tape roll. Just stick your finger in your little tape roll, lightly touch it. Oh, perfect. Wow. That worked so well. Works much better than brushing it away, because when you brush it away, you're kind of just blending the color into your face and you don't want brown here. So, okay, I think that eyeshadow looks really pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat on the other eye. I think this eye look is just gorgeous. It's great for an everyday look. You could definitely glam it up for night. All right, as I mentioned before, the eyeliners are going to be nothing new, but one of my favorites. They are the Sephora retractable waterproof eyeliners. This one is in matte charcoal. These eyeliners are great because they're waterproof. I do wear contacts and they don't bother my contacts. They don't smudge to your other waterline. Put it on the upper lashes as well. And then for my lower lashes, I'm going to use the same eyeliner, but in a different shade. This one is called Shimmer Taupe. So moving on from there, oh my gosh, you guys were so interested in the next product. It is from NYX. It's their Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. And right next to it, there was their brow glue. So I grabbed both. I've got the Lift and Snatch in taupe. It's got a really super pointy little felt tip pen there. That is really nice. I love how that goes on. And now let's go in with the NYX Brow Glue. Non-sticky, transparent formula. Tiny little spoolie. We'll just comb this through. Yeah, my brows are so unruly. They're always, I mean, they're not big and puffy, but they're always out of place. So a little brow glue would be awesome. All right, well, that's actually really nice. It's making my brow hairs look a lot darker and a lot thicker. So yeah, I really like that. For the mascara, there were so many requests for this. It's the Essence Lash Princess, and specifically the purple one. Is this gone viral or something? Oh, this came in PR too. They actually sent me all 5 of these. And it's got a curved fuzzy applicator. Let's go ahead and pop that on. Okay, so far, one coat didn't do anything. Let's try again. It seems like it's taking a long time to just like build up any lash with this, but so what is it about this that people are losing their minds over? It's not the kind of mascara that it's like whoosh, whoosh, goes on quick, gives you amazing lashes, and then you're done. It takes at least 2 to 3 coats to get some lengthening and voluming, and I'm not sure I love the look of the lashes. I like more silky looking lashes. These are a little clumpy. Ugh. They literally look flocked. They look like they've been coated with like that spray-on Christmas tree flocking on this eye. This eye looks a little bit better. This eye is just like, ugh, kind of kooky looking. Can you see them? Very clumpy. I have to pick some of the clumps off because I hate to go around with like rocks and potato chips sticking off of my lashes. All right, last thing is the lippy. I got the NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and definitely a Turn On Waterproof Extreme Color Lip Liner. And this one is in the shade Alluring. They still have the Honest Beauty blush on there, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of that. This definitely has a very nice gel feel to it. You know, some of the lip liners are so dry and chalky. That's nice. It definitely glides right on. It's a pretty color. It's a nice pink. I didn't get so much a lipstick as a butter gloss. This is also by NYX in the shade Sorbet. Really pretty, kind of like hot coral. That's pretty. It's definitely like a super shiny wet look gloss, but I feel like it's gonna make your lips look like less dry and younger looking. We'll see if it goes up into the lip lines. I'm hoping that the lip liner will keep it from sliding up there. All right, so here's the finished makeup look. I think everything is actually looking pretty darn good right now. I will come back in for a 4-hour check-in and an 8-hour check-in. We'll do a full day wear test on it. But right now I am loving the look. I'm loving the bright lippy, and I love the foundation. I think it's so pretty. So I feel like the foundation is definitely like soft and natural looking. It's definitely skin-like finish. This is the side with the setting powder. This is the side with no setting powder. At this point, I'm not really seeing a big difference between the two sides. I didn't like it when I first put the setting powder on, but at this point, I think they look about the same. Love the blush on this side. I like the highlighters. I love the eyeshadow look. I just think for a tiny, tiny little palette like that, it is so beautiful. And this brow glue, it actually doesn't feel stiff or sticky, and it's definitely holding my brows in place. And I like the little flick guy. I'm not loving the look of these lashes, and I feel like they're already leaving little black flakes below my eyes, but the under eye concealer I think looks really, really good. Hey guys, I'm back. It's about 2 hours later and I went to lunch. Daughter and I got some sushi. We went to a couple of grocery stores because we decided on the fly to have the whole family over for dinner tonight. So anyway, I had a mask on for going in and out of the stores. The sushi restaurant also had you wear a mask. I feel like I really like that lippy, the combination. It's not drying at all. My lips actually still feel really like creamy and like they have the coating of this on them, and the color actually stayed after eating and wearing a mask and everything. The only problem is that it ran up in my lip lines just the tiniest bit, but you can hardly even see it, but not too much. I feel like the lip liner really helped it stay in place. The makeup is a little bit worn off here on my nose, but not too bad. I don't think you would notice it from, you know, sitting back there, only up here. And otherwise, I think everything is still looking good. I have noticed a couple of flakes already from the mascara. All right, hey you guys, I am back for the 4-hour check-in. I'm gonna talk really, really fast because the family's gonna be here in like 2 minutes for dinner. I don't know where the time went. We don't have everything done, but it's gonna be fun anyway. I think the foundation still looks really nice. It did settle a little bit right in here. I feel like there's a little creasing in the under eye concealer, but not too much. My eyebrows, man, are they ever in place? Does that NYX eyebrow glue really work? Let me show you an up close what everything looks like. This just has the tiniest bit of settling right in here, but it's really like nothing that anyone else could see. I think overall, like this makeup is really pretty, really wearing well. I don't really see a difference between the two sides with the primer. Definitely getting those little shark bites in here. So the concealer is wrinkled up at the 4-hour mark and starting to get a little bit thin. But okay, so let me go do this dinner and then I'll be back in another 4 hours. Okay, see you then, bye. All right guys, it is 11:20, so instead of an 8-hour check-in, it's a 9-hour and 20-minute check-in on the makeup from this morning. And the dogs have just come in from their last time out of the night. And yeah, the dinner party was a success, played Yahtzee, had fun. So let's take a look at the makeup. I would say that this face makeup, what are we looking at here? The L'Oreal True Match Nude. Oh my gosh, so good, you guys. This is fantastic. If you loved L'Oreal True Match, but it was just a little bit too makeup-y for you, definitely give this a try. It's just really, really good. I think it held up really well all day, considering that I like had a mask on for like an hour. It didn't really rub off that badly, and how long a day it's been and everything. Hey everybody, it's future me. It's a few days after I tested the makeup and I went to use the L'Oreal True Match Nude again today, and I was gonna put it on with my fingers. When I had this on my fingers and I was bringing it up to my face, I got such a whiff of alcohol, like denatured alcohol, that I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I did check the ingredients. Denatured alcohol is 3rd on the ingredient list in this foundation. So if you have super dry skin, you may want to stay away from this one. If you have normal, combo, or oily skin, it could be fine. Denatured alcohol is not like death to skin. It's not the worst thing ever, but it just can be a little bit drying. So it may be the kind of thing that you don't want to use it every single day, but I still think it's a good foundation. I mean, just putting it on with my fingers, oh my gosh, does this look good? I don't even have any setting powder on here yet, and I love the finish on it, and it just, you know, oops, forgot to rub in my bronzer, I just realized. So anyway, I love the finish on it. I think it's really pretty. I really like it, but I just wanted to let you guys know before you purchase it that it does have a high amount of denatured alcohol in it. Could be fine, could be not fine, depends on you. Back to the video. I actually think the concealer looks pretty good. I wasn't 100% happy with it all throughout the day. It felt like it made my wrinkles look a little bit bigger, but it certainly has stayed in place well. I really hate this mascara. This eye is completely flaked all underneath my eye. It's everywhere. The eyebrows are still in place. The Honest Beauty blush on this side, look at that. You can still see it. This was really nice as an eyelid primer. The eyeshadow went on really smooth. It blended out really beautifully, and look how it stayed all day, and it hasn't creased. So if you like the Primer Putty Matte, and you put it on your face. You can also use it on your eyelids. I like the brushes, I like the sponge, I like the lippy a lot. I really love the little Wet n Wild palette. So that's it for today's video, everybody. If you enjoyed it, found it helpful and informative, go ahead and give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate your watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.